Welcome back to Tech Knowledge. Nature provides the inspiration for many amazing inventions, and it was rain on a lotus leaf that sent scientist David Offord to the lab to clean up one of life's dirty little secrets, stains. It's not exactly the stuff dreams are made of, but it could help avoid some embarrassing social nightmares. It's called Nanotech, and this miracle fabric repels water and stains, yet looks and feels like ordinary cloth. You can even walk in the rain without getting your clothes wet, and that's just the beginning. At this unassuming lab outside San Francisco, researchers make nanotechnology magic, blending chemical and even mechanical engineering at the molecular level. Sounds lofty, but lead scientist David Offord's goal is very practical. Science you can wear.
Let's make clothes that are smart. They do things for you. They just don't sit on you and make you look good.
Nanotech uses the same stain-resistant fluorinated particles as Teflon or Scotchgard, but they're smaller, and that makes a big difference.
Our idea was to take these types of chemicals, reduce them down to a nanoscale so that you can't tell that it's there. It's very different than what has been done before in this industry.
Nanotech's particles are about 500 times smaller than a human hair. To make these mini marvels, scientists combine 3 molecular ingredients. One has hooks that bind to fabric. A second has whiskers that repel oil and water. A third is water-soluble. When something called an initiator is added to the nanostew, it starts a chain reaction, binding the molecules together into chains that then curl into balls with hooks on the outside, whiskers on the inside.
When we put it onto the fabric, it unfolds again into its linear state and sits down on the fabric, at which point we heat the fabric up and they bind to the fabric itself, becoming part of the fabric, therefore making the water and odor repellency permanent.
If nanotech seems to defy the laws of nature, it's actually inspired by the natural world. Some of the best-dressed plants and animals wear a natural form of the fabric to keep dry. Take the lotus leaf.
The lotus leaf has tiny hairs on it that trap air in between the hairs, and so when the water sits down on top of the lotus leaf, it's like sitting on a pocket of air, and it won't wet down into that air pocket. This is similar with our nanoparticle in that these whiskers point up away from the surface and trap the air in between them so that the water can't sink through it.
But how do you wash these clothes that won't get wet?
We've designed these whiskers, we call them, such that when they encounter detergent in the laundering machine, they'll actually fold over and allow the water and the detergent to penetrate into the fabric and clean out all the dirt. And then once you take it out of the washer, put it in the dryer and give it some heat, the heat realigns these whiskers so that they're in a repellent position again, ready for you to wear.
This is the room where we do product testing.
Think of it as the high-tech equivalent of a 5-year-old's playroom.
You need a glove.
It's where Bill Ware and his staff release their inner children to tear, stretch, and stain the fabric, putting nanotechs to the ultimate test.
Michelle is putting a weight on top to really grind that stain into the fabric.
The substances they use cause the tough stains we really dread. They're called tannins, and they bind to a fabric's very fibers through a chemical reaction. Still, nanotech's particles are so tiny that they coat the fibers, so the stains should come out in the wash.
So after the laundry, the untreated 100% cotton swatch has visible stains of chocolate and ketchup that we put on it, and the nano-treated fabric is clean.
You could call it a pocket full of miracles, and the future promises ever more physics-defying fun, as well as serious protection from harm.
A lot of our products are applicable to other industries. For example, the building industry. How can we make mold-resistant drywall or fire-resistant buildings? All these things can be done using nanochemistry and the actual products that we're using.
The future is here now, with this wearable technology available right off the rack.